Hey guys, it's LearArt back with another video showing you today how to set up and use a PlayStation controller on your computer, and specifically how to use that on Roblox. Now, if you've ever tried to do this before, you know that natively Roblox does not support the PlayStation controllers, but with that means we need an app from the website. I'll have it linked below, called DS for Windows. Using that allows us to use a PlayStation 4 controller in Roblox. So what you're gonna show up here. You're gonna go up to download now, and it's gonna give you version 2.2.13, or perhaps a later version if you're watching this in the future. Now what you're going to want to use is DS for Windows, whatever the version is, .x64.zip. x86 is for a 32-bit operating system, and those aren't really used in post 2020 anymore. Of course, if you do have a 32-bit operating system, get the x86. But for most people, it's going to be the x64.zip. So you're going to click that. It's going to ask if you want to save or open it. Do whichever. It doesn't really matter. And then you're going to get, if you open it with Windows, you're going to get this. It's going to have this folder that has all of the program in it. So what you're going to want to do is take this entire folder, find an empty application, just put it on your hard drive under program files, applications, however you're sorting your system. Just put that entire folder in there, and that's going to give you this. So I have it in applications. Gives you all the things. What you do is you use ds4windows.exe. That's going to pop up this little window, and the first time you start it, it's going to open up a smaller window off to the side as well. That just has you install a driver and then walks you through how to connect your controller. Of course, I'm going to do that as well. So at this point, you want to install the driver that it asks for, which will be like the top button on that box. Then you want to connect your PlayStation controller. PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, doesn't matter. For the PlayStation 4 controller, you hit the PlayStation button and the share button. You hold those two for like 5 seconds. It's going to start flashing. Now in the bottom left, you're going to type in Bluetooth, which is going to bring up Bluetooth and other device settings, which brings up Bluetooth and other devices. If your computer does not have Bluetooth, this is where you're going to have to plug in your controller and use it wired. Because the PlayStation 4 controller is Bluetooth. So either you find a dongle or you just wire it, but either way. So you'll go to add Bluetooth and devices, Bluetooth, and it's going to show up, hey, here's a wireless controller. We're going to connect to that. It's going to say, hey, it's good to go. You can close out of that now. And if it doesn't immediately show up like it did here, you just go down to the bottom right of the DS for Windows window and just hit the start button, and it should automatically find your PlayStation controller. It'll work for PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4, so shouldn't be an issue there. And technically, you're good to go. You could go over to Roblox, you could play it, it would detect the controller and it would work. So for any other game, this is great. The stuff that's specifically driving simulator, Roblox related, is, this is the part now. So driving simulator decided that you're not allowed to change the sensitivity of your steering. You're not allowed to change button controls or anything like that. So basically, because we're using a third-party program, DS for Windows, This actually means that the PlayStation 4 controller is actually better than the Xbox controllers in this case because we can adjust some settings. So you're going to want to go over to Profiles on DS4 Windows, go over to Profiles, hit New. It's going to ask, do you want to use the preset option? Just hit yes. It's going to fill it in with all the default settings. That's fine. I'm just going to hit cancel and edit the driving sim one that I already have. So the primary difference that we're going to do here is just changing a couple buttons, and the most important thing is changing how the left stick, how its output curve is. So you see over here, these don't really matter. The dead zone, I upped it just a little bit. Doesn't, if you're getting stick drift, you can change that up. Now, Driving Simulator naturally has this weird mechanic where it'll just kind of keep you steering off to one side or the other for no apparent reason. So that's not your controller doing that. It's actually just Driving Simulator being kind of silly about it. So keep all these values the same. Up the dead zone if you want. It starts at like 0.08. Have it at 0.13. Doesn't really matter. But the most important thing is you want to change the output curve here. So I found, after testing all of these, custom notwithstanding, I found the enhanced precision is going to be the best one that's easy to set up. So just click enhanced precision, go down to the right stick. You can keep that at linear. It just controls your camera, so whatever. I don't really bother with that. So that's all you have to do for the control sticks. So that'll make your steering a lot more responsive without being twitchy like it normally is. The only other thing that I would say to do is the default gas is the right back R2 button, which is really annoying to use. Just for long periods of time. It's just not very fun to use. So I actually changed that to right R1 or right bumper, and I did the same for brake. So just go up here, click on the R1 button. It'll bring up this big pad. You can set it to right trigger. You're good to go. Do the same for L1. Go back here, left trigger, boom. And I just to keep things complete, I switched the left L2 and R2 to left bumper and right bumper, so everything was still bound. I unbound all of the touchpad settings because you don't really need a touchpad in this game. You can, for other games you might want to set that to something, but I changed the options and share buttons so the options button, I changed that to the back button, and the share button, I changed that to the start button here. And then the only reason I really did that is because it felt more natural to hit options and have it pop up the selection box within Driving Simulator. So within Driving Sim, when you hit options now, it's going to pop up the selection box allowing you to use your controller to spawn cars, go to the garage, that sort of thing. So you just want to make sure you save, apply and save. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to mess up my profile, although I don't think I did anything wrong, different this time. You can also change the light bar color if that's your thing. Change it to tell you how much battery, all that jazz. And we're just going to minimize that. So now I can run around. You know it's working because you see the little like options button above the spawn car button. So that means you're running on a controller. So when you hit options, it's going to spawn the little box. Just hit X, and then you can spawn whatever car you want. Triangle will be the Y in this case. And then you can just drive around, immediately hit the trees because the trees need to go away. And yeah, that's about it. You can run Driving Simulator perfectly fine. It's going to be comfortable for multiple hours at a time. because the left and right bumpers are just nicer to use than the triggers are as far as gas. And I found in this game you don't really need a certain amount of gas pedal ever. Like, there's no real reason to use that. Or the same goes with brakes. You either want all the brakes or none of the brakes, so just using a button is perfectly fine. And so, but the big thing, again, like I said a minute ago, was the stick, how sensitive that is. You can get these nice sweeping turns with the stick that's not something you could really do with an arrow key, which is just what makes you faster in driving sim, because as you turn, normally you will lose speed based on how sharply you turn. Well, if you're using an arrow key and it's all or nothing, after hitting all of the noobs around downtown, if it's all or nothing, you just can't go as fast because you're losing speed to the turns that you don't really need to be losing. So in short, you can come around here really fast, and with this nice, slow, gentle turn, that doesn't lose you any speed, which is what we really want. And of course, the cars are just going to drive themselves left and right when you use the stick, but because it's more precise, it's a little bit easier to rein the car back in when you're not, hitting noobs and getting stuck everywhere because they decided that, they're going to be in the line, even though I'm going 300 miles an hour. So yeah, that's about it. It's going to make you faster in driving sim if you get used to it. The other nice thing is the PlayStation 4 and 5 controllers. They're on a rechargeable battery, so you just connect 2 controllers to your PC, and you can use this and just swap controllers when you need to. And yeah, all's good. You can do crazy things like coming around here at full speed, although I wasn't full speed there. It was more of a demonstration. Come around there full speed, not really lose any. Come through here, get hit by the Bugatti that's going the wrong way on around the world. So you're going slow again. Just Roblox things. Anyways, that's been LearArt showing you how to connect the PlayStation 4 and 5 controllers, driving simulator, and also all of the Roblox games as well. Hope you have a good day and enjoy playing this most popular driving game on Roblox easier than with an arrow key. That's LearArt signing off.